everyone, and welcome back to my channel. We have another flower letter. This is flower letter number 10, and we're going to jump right into this one and see who this is from. Okay, so it looks like on the top here we have a business card, and it looks like it says groceries and provisions. Looks like it's from Pennsylvania. Oh, I really like that. That's cute. And I love the outfits that the girls wear in the picture. Like, they're just so old-fashioned, and I just love them. They got like that Victorian style, and I just love it. And it looks like, oh, this is neat. Looks like this is going to be an extra, but I'm just going to kind of show you here. It looks like we have a Native American here and a bunch of symbols. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is going to be from Mr. Hickman. And here is our letter. It doesn't look like we've got anything extra just besides that. And we've got 2 pages, so we've got about 2 pages, and I love this one. This one is like really different, if you guys can tell. It looks like it's got clouds, and it's pink and purple and kind of bluish, and then down here it looks like we've got maybe a canyon perhaps, and I just love that. It's all over the paper, and I just really love that. And here's the back of it, and if you guys notice, the letters from Mr. Hickman do not have the flower on them. I hadn't really noticed this before, but I do know that this one does not. So this looks like this is going to be to Miss Moore. So this is definitely going to be from Mr. Hickman. So let's jump into this and see what he has to say. June 23rd, 1884. Dear Miss Moore, thank you kindly for your encouraging words. They did me more good than I can say. It's easy to forget we do what we do when we're out here in the thick of it. I'm sure glad I got the likes of such a fine woman as the indomitable Lily Clare Moore to remind me I'm never alone when riding for a righteous cause. There sure is some pretty country out here. As a matter of fact, I traveled through an area of coral-colored sand dunes just before arriving in Kanab. It was sunset when I passed through, and these dunes look the exact shade of your hair when the sun hits it just right. I've thought of you an awful lot while tracking the stars across the desert, Miss Moore. I don't mind telling you it's made this chase one of the most pleasant of my life. I was mighty happy to find your letter waiting for me in Kanab. See, I'm obliged to you, Miss Moore. If it wasn't for your letter and your kind, encouraging words, my latest run-in with the stars might still be rankling with me. I've been trailing them all the way from Kanab toward the Escalate Mountains. I finally started gaining on them in a place between here and there that looked like the Almighty himself reached down with a paintbrush and painted that particular piece of nature by hand, creating some of the prettiest rock formations I've ever seen. I was admiring said sights when I spotted the stars across the cliffs from me. I slid off my horse, dropped to the ground behind some sage bush, hoping they hadn't seen me. All 3 stars were there and accounted for, but one of them was making the darndest noise I've ever heard come out of a grown woman's mouth. She was howling her head off, but rather than sounding like a hollering woman, she sounded just like a brand new babe. As I crept a little closer to get a better look, I realized it wasn't one of the sisters making the noise, but an actual baby. A papos, to be exact. I was wondering what in the world these 3 were doing with the native babe when they all started arguing about who was going to take care of it. Belladonna was bellowing at the youngest, Angela, telling her she could either take care of it or kill it. Belladonna didn't care either way, but Angela had to decide fast because yours truly was gaining on them. Now, the bright stars have their reputation, Miss Moore, but I'll admit, I was surprised they stooped low enough to harm a baby, being women and whatnot. I know I was being naive, but I suppose after they helped you back in Frisco, part of me wanted to believe they might have some good left in them after all. But they wasn't just taking advantage of an opportunity to distract me so they can get a head start out of Frisco. Turns out I was right about them initially, because in the next moment, and with the most chilling indifference I've ever seen in the fairest sex, I saw Miss Moore, Angela Starr, shrug at her sister, put the baby back in the papoose, and strapped it over a branch on a nearby tree. The tree happened to be hanging precisely close to the side of a cliff. Without even a backwards glance, all three of the ladies rode off toward the east. I knew I couldn't just leave the little critter dangling there for the buzzards to get, especially not while she was wailing her little heart out. She could have broken the branch and sent herself rolling 30 or 40 feet down the cliffside. When I finally reached her, I fetched her off the tree branch before she came to any real harm. Then I tried to shush her for a mite before heading back to my horse. The moment I turned around, however, I was surprised by a Hopi Indian war party. Now, the Hopi are peaceful by nature, so I knew things would most likely be alright if I handed over the babe. Thankfully, their leader knew a bit of English, and I was given the chance to explain myself. When I finished, he simply laughed at me. He said, "White man made fool by 3 women." I asked what he meant, and he proceeded to tell me the Stars had traded weapon and fire whiskey to borrow the baby. They promised no harm would come to the child, they just needed a way to distract the white man chasing them. So you see, the baby was never in real harm. The warriors were there all the time, watching the child and the Stars and watching me. As much as I hate being hoodwinked, I admit I was glad to discover the Stars weren't quite as heartless as I originally surmised. But once again, their plan had worked. By the time I heard the whole story, handed over the babe, not to mention doing some mighty smooth talking to back myself out of a rather precarious situation, the Stars had a solid hour head start on me. Not only that, but because of the rock all around us, I had no immediate tracks to follow. I didn't pick up the trail again until the banks of the Colorado River. Unless they're trying to trick me again, it looks like they're heading straight into Navajo territory. I hope you don't see this fiasco or the last as a sign of my incompetence as a tracker, Miss Moore. I have truly had some fine victories in my career, but I also don't mind sharing my failures with you, and as I know you won't laugh at my misfortune, even so, I don't mind so much if you find them entertaining. They might make the charging worthwhile. As for myself, I'm developing a healthy respect for the Bright Star's cleverness. So Gamut is back and bothering you. If you'll pardon my forward speaking, Miss Moore, it sounds like I might just have to do something about that when I come around Frisco again. As a matter of fact, I think we should do something about it now, as Gamut is a wily one. When he wants something, he isn't known for giving up on getting it very easily. If it's not pursuing too much, based on our friendship, and if it won't offend your more excellent sensibilities until I can make it back to Frisco, you might just go ahead and tell Gamut I'm courting you. Truth be told, those are my intentions, Miss Moore. Even if for now, it is by letter. Besides, Gamut's frightened at me on the whole, and telling him I'm your beau should at least give him some pause. I'm awful sorry to hear about the White Widow murders. I wish I wasn't chasing this confounding Stars all over tarnation. I might just come back to Frisco and take that sheriff job myself. In the meantime, I know just the man for the job, if you don't mind carrying my suggestion to those taking charge of the matter. There's a fellow named Sam Parson over in Pioche, Nevada. He has quite a bit of experience in these matters. You tell the folks of Frisco to send for him, and he'll clear the town right up. If they ask for references, tell them I rode with Parson as a Texas Ranger. He is one of the best men I know, and he's tough. Mighty tough. He won't put up with the riffraff around there for long. I'll be out of post office range for a while now. The next city I might come to with a post office will be Mob. So send any reply there. Take care of yourself, Miss Moore, and promise me you'll stay clear of this White Widow business. Your true friend and ally, Matt Hickman. P.S. Miss Lottie wrote and said you're getting awful close to opening your dress shop. Congratulations. When will you be sending for your sister? Then down here in the bottom in red, it says to learn more about the Hopi tribe and the Texas Rangers, visit our learn page at flowerletters.com. So guys, what do you think of the letter? I am so excited to hear that he wants to court Miss Lily Clara. I am so very, very excited for that, and I can't wait to hear about her reply in the next letter. And I am super, super excited that there is at least a bit of Native American in this, because I really, really enjoy listening to them and about their culture and just everything. So I kind of hope that there might be a little bit more about that, maybe a little bit more history about that, perhaps. So we're going to open this. This is the extra that we have, and I'm gonna show it to you. I love the artwork that's on it. It says June 4th to June 20th of 1884. It says, I've seen more beautiful and peculiar country this past month than perhaps ever in my life. Between those ruddy colored sand dunes and cliffs that look like they were in the exact shape of the wind, I'm not afraid to admit I found myself a mite doy-eyed at the Almighty's handiwork. At some point, I've even caught myself tipping my hat to him in appreciation. I couldn't help wishing I could share it with you, Miss Moore. She's just the sort of woman who get caught up in the wonder with me. Then down here it says, I found me some mighty fine specimens of Hopi cliff drawings the other day. I've copied some of them down and even got one of those Hopi braves to share their meanings with me. I've always been curious about the cliff drawings I've seen out here in the West. Utah Territory is riddled with them. It was a rare privilege to ask one of the natives about their meeting. I do suspect the only reason he shared with me was out of pity. I must have looked a sight standing there with that wailing babe in my arms. It was a well-played hand for the stars. I give them that much. I couldn't help shaking the feeling that those ladies didn't want any real harm coming to the little critter any more than I did. It's causing me to question a few of my essential assumptions about them. Miss Moore has her own suspicions concerning the stars, and I'm beginning to see why, regardless, that little papoose is back safe and sound with her people. By the time I hand it over, I think she's taken quite a shine to me. I'm beginning to suspect these stars will be the death of me, that definitely don't play by the rules as outlaws I'm used to chasing. I don't know if it's the fact that they're ladies that gives them the edge, or the fact that I've got myself all wrapped up in thoughts of Miss Moore. I couldn't seem to think straight with Gambit and the White Widow character threatening her safety at every turn. I feel it might better once Parson takes up the helm in Frisco. Oh, okay, and then the back of this is actually the map, guys. Okay, so here's our map, and let me just get it open here. And so we've got, it says Colorado River, so let's see, we gotta be down here somewhere. Let's see where we are gonna be at. Looks like, okay, so it looks like right here where the Escalate Mountains are. So right here, he looks like he is going to come from Kanab, and it looks like he's just gonna kind of come up through the mountains here, and he's gonna come out just kind of over where the mountains are, and it looks like down and over this way, over where the Navajo Territory are. So it's not showing any other little towns or anything, so I'm just gonna assume here that he just came right from where Kanab is, down here where it says Hole in the Rock. We're just gonna come up from there, and we're just gonna try to at least make it look somewhat similar to his trail here. Let's see. And we're going to come right on down here, going into Navajo Territory. So it should look something quite like that. It might not be exactly right, but should look something like this, guys. I'll get a close-up if you guys kind of want to see. I like the map. I know it's a little bit slow. A lot of people may not like it, but I do. I kind of like it. I was always fascinated with stuff like this in school when we used to do them. But again, here's a close-up of the map if you guys want to see it again. But this was really cool. I really like this, and like I said, I hope we actually hear more about some of the Native American stuff, because I'm pretty fascinated about stuff like that too. I hope you guys like this letter. This has by far been one of my favorite letters by far. You guys let me know, which I enjoy each one of them. You know, each story is different and in its own way, and I do appreciate that, and I really like that, and I like that they are so different, and I do love the little extras that they give us. So I can't wait to hear from Lily Clara. I'm hoping that the next letter might be from her. Usually it's like about every other one, or, you know, they kind of like space it out a little bit. But I'm kind of excited to hear about her and about the White Widow, and I can't wait to see who that's going to be. You guys let me know if you have any thoughts on that. And I will see you guys back here in my next flower letter very soon. Bye!